Okay, now we are on to chapter 5.3, and this is three-dimensional representations. So we're going to use isometric drawings, and this is just something where your diagrams look like this. Okay, and something to recognize is what you want to understand is that each point beside them is equal distance apart. So that's why they're useful, because you can draw these really good, perfect images using them. So instead of having a grid that goes this way, you have a grid that kind of goes this way, okay? So let's see how to do this. And recognize they're using scale factors here. So draw the shape below as an isometric drawing at a scale of 1 to 20. Use the indicated as your starting line. Okay, so you can tell that 1 unit equals 20 centimeters. So we can figure out how many units each thing has to be. So we're not going to go 60 this way. We're going to just go 3 units. So this is represented by 3 units. So you can see here, this was 60 centimeters originally, and we represented by 1, 2, 3 units. So that's what that scale diagram represents. Okay, so let's maybe do this one. Use appropriate scale drawing. Draw an isometric image of the stored unit, indicated edge as your starting line. Okay, so we're going to use this guy. Now, here, my scale I'm going to use is, I'll probably use the same scale, so 1 to 20. So let's use 1 to 120 to 70. Let's do 1 to 30. Okay, and the reason I'm doing 1 to 30 is because all of these things are divisible by 30. So if I divide this thing by 30, I'm going to get 10. So it'll be 10 units. Okay, if I divide this by 30, I will get 3 units. If I divide this by 30, I will get 9 units. And then 120 divided by 30, that will give me 4 units. So now this tells me how far I should go. So if I look up here, I'm going to start with this side, which is actually 300 millimeters. So I'm going to use 10 units. So I'm going to start maybe here, and I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's my 10 units, okay? And now, let's start drawing. So from here, I have 120, okay? And that will be across this way. So the way I'm drawing this, remember, I have to draw it isometrically. So let's draw maybe this side here, which is equal to this side. So this thing here is 3 units. So I will go 1, 2, 3 units that way. How long is this top section? Well, that's 270 millimeters, which is 9 units. So I'm going to go 9 units this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. And now we're here, so I'm going to go down. And how many should I go down? I got to go down 10 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Okay, now let's draw maybe this portion here. And again, that's 3 units long. So that'll be 1, 2, 3 units long. And then again, I have to go down 10 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now here you can actually see it's going to connect really nicely. This is supposed to be 3 units, which this is 3 units. 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 units there. Perfect. Now I can connect these 2 lines because that's this portion here, and recognize it's supposed to be 9 units. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Now this is 120 units up, which is 4 units up. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let me check that. So 120 dividing 30, which gives me 4. So I guess it is indeed 4. So I just wanted to check to make sure. So that means we're going to go up 4 units here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to draw a line across here. Okay. And that's about it. The only thing I'm missing is this line here. And this line essentially is this corner up to this point. It's not going to go past because you can't see that. So it'll be here. And there is our draw it out diagram, which looks pretty good. It's kind of a side view, which is a little interesting. Okay, so that's how to do something like that. So figure out a factor. I used 30 because I knew all of these numbers were 30. So try and use a number that can divide all those numbers nicely. Okay, now this is using a perspective drawing. Now you artists are probably already pretty good at this, but a perspective drawing is really cool. You just choose a point on your line and it's called a vanishing point. So you draw your diagram to where it vanishes into that point. Okay, and then at some point you choose a point X and you can actually cut it off, and then you have a pretty much a perfect looking 3D image. Okay, so let's do that together. So here we can see that they choose A, and all of these lines go straight to A, and then they chose a point, went straight across, and then formed it. Okay, so let's do this one first. So here I would use a ruler, and we're going to make a line straight to V. Okay, and then this will go straight to V as well. This will also go straight to V, and then this will go straight to V. Okay, and now at this point we just need to choose a point on our line, so here, and then we got to draw it so it's parallel to this line, so essentially just straight across. Okay, and then here, and then here. So you can see how all these lines are straight, and now if we erase these points in the back, you actually get a perfect looking shape, which is really, really cool and kind of neat. Okay, and this is useful for artists, this is useful for architects, this is how architects will make an architectural technologists and even engineers. So this is a pretty useful technique. And people who program video games need to understand how this works so they can draw proper 3D images. Okay? So with these ones, essentially you always just start up, make a perfectly straight line, okay? Choose a point that you're going to use as your vanishing point, and then start drawing. That's as simple as that. So here, I will draw my line, okay? And then the hard part about this, kind of, is that your legs, you're just going to have to draw on your own legs here. Okay, so what I'm going to do from now is I'll choose 2 points, and I'll go straight across. Okay, and make sure it's horizontal or parallel with this line. Now I'm going to erase these points, and all I need to do is maybe add a leg. So where should I add a leg? I'll add a leg. It would actually be more underneath, so something like this. There, and now I've drawn pretty much a perfect perspective drawing of this table. Okay, now exploded images, these are also useful. This is just where you take every component and you explode it. So there you've shown all of it, and you kind of show how they're supposed to connect, okay? So there's a very poorly drawn image by me of this exploded image. So this one, let's do this one. Well, here we have a front and a back. So we'll have a front and a back. Then we'll have sides, these 2 square sides. Okay. And then we will have our top and our bottom. And then you just want to show how these are supposed to connect. So sometimes it's a little hard to show how they connect, but this one, we should draw this one a little bit more of a different perspective. Let's draw it like this. Okay, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but we can connect these points. This point connects here, okay? This point will connect here. This point will connect here. Let's draw this a little bit better. It's those side ones that you really want to get a good kind of view. So it'll look something like that. Some of you might argue that kind of almost look the same, but then we'll have connector points here. There, so we've exploded our image. So these are definitely a little bit harder to do, I'm not gonna lie. They can be a little awkward to draw. But as long as your connecting points go to the proper things, that's kind of what I'm looking for there. Okay, and then from there we've kind of went through everything. Use isometric dot paper to draw a set of 3 stairs. Make each stair 3 units wide, 3 units deep, and 1 unit high. Okay, so with this one, just choose a line. So here I'll choose this point as kind of the side view of my stairs. Okay, it wants each thing to be 3 units high and 3 units deep. So each thing has to be 3 units deep. So 1, 2, 3. So there's 1, 1, 2, 3. So there's another 1, 2, 3. So there's the last one. So this can actually go away. So how I'm going to draw this is I will make them 3 units wide. So this will be my first set of stairs, 1, 2, 3, and they'll go 3 down, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Should have drawn it a little higher. Shoot. Okay, so I'm just gonna start maybe right here and then go from there. So 1, 2, 3 is wide, 1, 2, 3 deep. Oh, it wants it 1 unit high. Oh, that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 deep. 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 deep. And then you'd be done there. So there's our stairs. So I can connect these points. So this should be 9 units down here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So roughly right there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then you can connect these points. And something to note is it says it wants to be 1 unit high. Technically, these things are 1 unit high because you can see that we only go down 1 unit, okay, to get there. And then you would just finish off your drawing here. So not quite as big of a piece of paper as we wanted it to be, but it'll look something like this. 2, and then and there is our set of stairs. So it definitely takes some practice in getting used to drawing these types of pictures. Okay, but there's our stairs. Look at that. So draw 2 perspective drawings of this staircase using 2 vanishing points. So let's just use one as a little practice. So again, we would connect all these points. These are the coolest ones I find, just because you feel like a very good artiste, especially when I'm a very bad artiste. Okay, and then we can connect all these points. Again, I would use a ruler here, luckily for me, and then you just choose a point and then make it as straight line across as you can. And then erase what's behind. Maybe I'll zoom in on here. And all of you are probably thinking, now you need an iPad because look how much easier this is. Look at that. And then we got our perspective, which is pretty neat. Other than that, guys, maybe you can give this one a shot if you really want on your own. This would be a really good practice problem. So you're essentially just breaking them apart and then labeling these components. So maybe try number 5 out on your own. And other than that, if you have any questions, if you're feeling confused, if you want to go over like question 2 together in person, that would be great. And yeah, good luck.